That was 5. I meant 4. Week 4. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Week 4 it is. Week 3 recap. Let's see, yours truly, I had 10. I went 10-6. So what were those 6 games that I called wrong? I had the Vikings over the Chargers. The Chargers won. I had the Jaguars over the Texans. Texans won. I had the Dolphins losing to the Broncos. I was horribly wrong, which was my upset alert on last week. So, you know. And then we have, I had the Ravens over the Colts. The Colts beat the Ravens. And I also had the Cowboys over the Cards. Cards beat the Cowboys. And then on Monday Night Football, the Bengals prevailed against the Rams. That Super Bowl rematch, they got their vengeance. Not that it was a Super Bowl rematch, but regular season game rematch of a Super Bowl matchup. So that puts me at 29-19 combined from the first 3 weeks of the season. Pretty decent percentage. Last week I was 9-7. For that 2 weeks ago I was 9-7. This last week 10-6. Now, without further ado, let's move on to week 4 of the NFL pro football season. Here comes the season. We got the Lions. Look, like I called last week. Hey, hallelujah. Look, see, I do make good points. The Lions and Packers both won their matchups last week. Lions beat the Falcons. Packers beat the Saints down 17-0 in the fourth quarter. This is the first game of the week on Thursday Night Football. Packers are at home. The Lions beat the Packers in Lambeau last year to end the season, so they finished with a winning record. This year, these two teams I think are going to be the ones fighting for the crown in the NFC North. Jordan Love's looking sharp. Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Week, feasted last week, and Detroit's coming together. They're rookies that they were getting some flack for. Jack Campbell, the Branch, and then Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta scored his first career touchdown. They're looking good. Jared Goff is dialing it up. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator. But I got the Packers winning at home, 26-24. They're gonna avenge that loss when they had up in Lambeau last year, playing with an inspired Jordan Love and not I want to go to vacation Aaron Rodgers. So not throwing shit on Aaron Rodgers, but I think the Packers are gonna win this one. But both these teams will be in the fight till the end. It'll be between these two teams. I think is gonna win the NFC North. Falcons at Jaguars. This game is in London. The Jaguars always play in London. This is a revenge game for Calvin Ridley, who used to be a Falcon and now he's a Jaguar, number 0. I don't like that, but anywho, Jaguars here coming off of a big loss, surprising loss to the Texans, but divisional matchups, anything can happen. The Falcons were kind of putrid on offense last week. The Jaguars are allowing 84.7 rush yards a game in their last 3 games, and the Falcons rely heavily on the running game. So this is going to be a tough task for the Falcons offense, because if they can't run the football, not really seeing much from Desmond Ridder going through the air. Kyle Pitts doesn't even have a touchdown reception, barely cracked 100 yards. Drake London, he was also a first-round draft pick. So if they can't run the ball, then hopefully Ridder can open it up and find these guys. I don't think that's going to happen. And I got the Jaguars holding on to win this game 23-19 in London. Rams at Colts. So the Colts, man, huge. Matt Gay, NFL record, 4 field goals made of 50-plus yards in the same game to beat the Ravens in overtime last week. Colts are now at home. Got a lot of momentum. Got a very stingy defense. The Rams in the last 4 matchups against the Colts have won 3 of their last 4. So Colts at home, Rams coming off of a loss. The Matt Stafford's putting up good numbers, but their offensive line is a little leaky, so he's going to probably evade some pressure. The Colts are a hungry defense, and they play very sound. And the Rams need to play a mistake-free game if they want to win this game. But I got the Colts winning at home, 27-23. Moves on to the Ravens at the Browns. Ravens at the Browns. The Browns probably have I would say, top 5 defense currently. They're shutting people down. Myles Garrett doing a great job. Their secondary is playing well. They're flying around the football. And the Ravens, coming off a surprising loss, they need to shake themselves off. Lamar Jackson, they played with the lead most of that game against the Colts and then lost in the end. Kept coming up empty late in drives, trying to go for it a couple times here and there. But Ravens at the Browns, I think this will be a split between both teams. Browns will be at home, and I think Browns will go beat the Ravens at their home. But Browns at home this week, I got them losing to the Ravens. These two teams always play tough, nitty-gritty defense against each other. So I don't see no reasons why both teams would be in the 20s or 30s for that matter. So I think the Ravens are going to notch it out. They make fewer mistakes on offense, but defensively it's going to be a defensive battle right here. So I got the Browns losing to the Ravens 17-20 at home. I think this is the Vikings at Panthers, two winless teams. Two winless teams. Vikings was in a matchup of winless teams last week. This week they find themselves in the same predicament. That's tough. I actually think Andy Dalton might start for the Panthers. I don't know. I haven't looked at the updates, but I think if Andy Dalton does start, I think they will win this game. And I say that because he's experienced. He's been a backup, a journeyman in this league, came in and started games and won games for many different teams. Here, he just found out a good usage of his weapons. They don't have a lot of explosive players on offense, the Panthers have, but, I mean, anyone can make it happen. So the Vikings here, Panthers giving up a lot of yards, Vikings defense giving up a lot of yards. I see this game, like, being very competitive because none of these teams wanted to lose, but I see the Falcons getting their first win right here. The Panthers getting their first win. They're at home. Vikings start at 0-4. Might still be... will still be the better 0-4 team considering the Bears. I have the Bears losing too, but I got the Panthers winning 28-25, and most in part because I think Andy Dalton's going to start this game. I'm not saying that Bryce Young can't get it done, but so far he's kind of still struggled to find his footing. So Panthers get their first win against the Vikings, 28-25. All right, Bengals at Titans. So for the Bengals at Titans, this one right here, the Titans have lost to the Bengals in 4 of their last 5. So the Bengals have beat the Titans 4 out of their last 5 games. Joe Burrow should come out. I think he's still nursing an injury, but Jamar Chase stepped up big time on Monday Night Football. T. Higgins still needs to start catching the ball. Joe Mixon got in the end zone finally. Their defense is an underrated defense. They have pretty good tacklers in the secondary. Chidobe Awuzie, former Cowboy. And the Titans haven't shown me hardly anything. Derrick Henry carried the ball 11 times for 20 yards last week. There's that Browns defense that they played. And I don't see him having success against the Bengals here unless the Bengals just completely blow their assignments. But games in Knoxville, Tennessee, Bengals, like they started 0-2 last year. I got them winning back-to-back games after their first win. So I got the Bengals over the Titans, 30-21. Bucks at Saints. Buccaneers lost against the Eagles on Monday night. The Saints lost pretty surprisingly. I think they have Derek Carr is going to be out for some time. Jameis Winston's next in line to start. So this game could go either way. But the Saints, this game's in the Dome. The Saints defense plays very well at home, and that crowd noise is probably going to give the Tampa Bay offense some issues. I see that happening. Mike Evans against Marshawn Lattimore. I think Marshawn Lattimore head-to-head has won this matchup like more than half the time, so it's going to be interesting to look for that one. But for this one, I see the Tampa Bay scoring. I see them scoring early, and then in the end, I see them just getting stifled. I think the Saints make their defensive adjustments, and offensively, I think they do better than what they did after Derek Carr went out the game last week. So I got the Saints prevailing at home 24-14 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dolphins at Bills, game of the week, or game of the first stretch of games on Sunday right here. Bills, last year, they were 2-0 facing the Dolphins, and they lost. They possessed the ball over 40 minutes to the Dolphins under 20, and they lost by 3. Very weird statistical game. This time around, they're going to be in Buffalo for the first game, for their first meet. Probably going to be cold. The Bills' secondary, good. Their linebacking core is scary. And and the Dolphins, I mean, they put up 70 points last week, but don't forget, against the Patriots, they only scored 24. And the Patriots were in a position to come back and win that game. And this is, again, like the Patriots, is a division rival. More disciplined defense, and more zoned in. So this right here could be a slugfest. I don't see it being super high scoring, but I do see it going one team getting over 30 points. And that team, for me, this week is going to be the Bills. It's not an upset because the Bills are a good team, such as the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, Josh Allen is actually, his last 10 games against the Dolphins, he's 9-1. So I think that's going to continue. And then, Dolphins are going to have that bulletin board for them. They go to the playoffs and see Buffalo because they lost to Buffalo in the playoffs last year. So, which also counts as including playoffs for Josh Allen's last 10 games for that stat. I got the Bills winning 32-27. Broncos at Bears, another matchup of winless teams. It's crazy we have 2 of these in week 4. This one's probably the more uglier one out of between the other game between the Vikings and the Panthers. Bears at home, not a good vibe. Probably going to be booed by the team's going to get booed by their fan base. Broncos coming off a humiliating loss to the Dolphins. I don't see either team really making it looking pretty in this. A lot of penalties, a lot of sloppy play. Both teams probably throwing away opportunities to win the game, but at the end, I got the Broncos coming out on top, 17-13 in a snooze fest here. So yeah, there's that. Commanders at Eagles. Commanders beat the Eagles last year to hand them their first loss of the season. Actually, the Eagles started 8-0, I believe, and now the Commanders are going at Philadelphia. Sam Howell coming off of a career worst so far performance against Buffalo, where he had responsible for 5 turnovers, I believe, and the Eagles are. Their front 7 is very dangerous. Their interior D linemen, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, can apply pressure. And if the Commanders don't run the ball early here, I don't see them being in trouble because they need to. That's how you can control the tempo and keep the Eagles defense on their heels. They got back James Bradbury. The Eagles did. Avonte Maddox is still out. Reed Blankenship, their safety, made some plays last week against the Buccaneers. So this is a scary team. They're only fighting their gear, as the analysts would say. But in this divisional matchup, I don't see the Eagles looking too pretty on offense, but they'll get it done here. And I got the Eagles winning 29-13 in PA. Steelers at Texans. Let me see. Commanders. Yep. Steelers at Texans. Texans coming off a good win. Steelers on the road again at Houston. DeMeco Ryans got his first career win. He's playing a game now, coaching against Mike Tomlin. This game originally, I wanted to pick Houston. Be my upset alert, but I'm taking that back because the Steelers, as long as they have T.J. Watt healthy, and then they haven't even had Cameron Hayward healthy, and he's due to come back. Alex Highsmith got great play from him last week. Minka Fitzpatrick is dangerous as always, ball hawk. So C.J. Stroud hasn't thrown an interception all season. I think he throws his first interception against the Steelers defense. If not directly to one, it's going to be a tip pass, I think. Nico Collins, the receiver for the Texans, is looking pretty good, but there needs to be more weapons in use here for Houston if they want to pull this one out. So I got the Steelers winning on the road here, 19-15. Raiders at Chargers. Chargers at home here. Raiders on the road. Raiders started, beat the Broncos, but since then it's like Devontae Adams or bust, it seems like. Josh Jacobs have not been able to establish the running game. This would be the game for him to do that because the Chargers can get out of their lanes here, but the win the Chargers had against the Vikings last week told me that this team has some fight in them, and I almost threw it away going for it in their own territory and then failing. Brandon Staley, Kellen Moore, I'm like, hey, y'all asking to get fired. So, the defense bailed y'all out. So this week, I think the defense does that too, considering also that Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo went out of the game last week too as well. So in concussion protocol. So we'll see. But I do have the Chargers beating the Raiders 30-17 here. Cardinals at the 49ers. Cardinals at Niners. The Cardinals ran the ball very well against the Cowboys. I see them trying to come and run the ball against the Niners, scheme them, have a good game plan here. And the Niners have had a long rest. They played on Thursday Night Football last week, so it's been a long rest for them, and they're playing now. They're gonna be at home. They're gonna have their second division game of the season so far. It's gonna be gritty. The Cardinals will fight, but I just don't see the Cardinals getting close to like when they get close to Niners territory. I don't see them coming away with nothing but field goals, maybe one score, if their special teams can contribute. But if not, it's going to be hard for them because the Niners are just good all around. So the Niners win at home here, 33-16. All right, this is my I hate to do this, but Pats at Cowboys. I mean, you see it, right? Bad prediction last week. What can I say to all our fans? I mean, when stuff like that happens, you just gotta wait. You just gotta see what they do next week to fix it, right? So Pats at Cowboys. The Cowboys have lost 7 of their last 8, according to a Pro Football Database, against the Patriots. 0-5, 1-5 now against Bill Belichick. Won 2 years ago in overtime. So Bill Belichick has last time he matched up with Mike McCarthy. I think they won in Green Bay. He was coaching the Packers, and the Patriots were on the road, and they lost. I think that was 2014 maybe. But all I know here is that it's going to come down to coaching. Both these teams have great defenses. They're going to play hard. I don't see the Cowboys had their first turnover giveaway of the season last week, late in the game. I don't see them really giving the ball away. If they do, it'll be in the form of a fumble, I think. Just like the Cowboys defense might strip Mac Jones and maybe pick off the ball here, I hope. There'll be a few turnovers, maybe 2 by the Pats, 1 by the Cowboys, or vice versa. But this is going to come down to coaching, and because of that, I wasn't encouraged by what I saw from the Cowboys' red zone offense. It doesn't make me think they're going to turn it around just like that against the Patriots for some reason. And there's still questions about if the O-line is going to be starting. I don't have the injury report on that, so we'll see. But that's why I have this as the upset alert of the week. Cowboys are favored by 7 at home. Bill Belichick, I mean, he's 1-2, so and they were competitive against the Dolphins and the Eagles, which they both had chances to beat. And the Cowboys, I don't think this will be the best team the Cowboys have played up until week 4. So yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but hey, upset alert here. Pats over Cowboys, 22-19. Low scoring affair. Kind of remind me of that game where Amari Cooper went missing 4 years ago in 2019, and the Cowboys lost by 4. That was in Foxborough. This one's in Dallas. So it's going to come down to who dominates the line of scrimmage in this game. Period. End of story. So let's see who it is. All right, Chiefs at Jets. Okay, so for now, Zach Wilson's still starting quarterback for the Jets, and this game is going to be on Sunday Night Football, and the Jets are home. Ah, man, tough outing. These Jet fans are booing Zach Wilson relentlessly. I don't even have to talk about the Chiefs. They're going to roll over the Jets. Maybe Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams can make some plays here and there, CJ Mosley, DJ Reed, but there's no telling. The Kansas City Chiefs look good last week. They do play well on the road. Andy Reid stacking up his career wins. So it's not much more to say besides that this game probably shouldn't be on Sunday Night Football slot. But the Chiefs are going to win this 36-14. And Monday Night Football is going to be... It's only one Monday Night Football this week. Cool, nice. Stop with the doubleheader, let the teams get their normal schedule. Seahawks at Giants. And the Seahawks had a great performance, the game-winning performance from Kenneth Walker the third. Okay, yeah, Kenneth Walker, their running back, and he's gonna face up a Giants defense that isn't that bad, honestly. And they had a rough outing against the Niners last week. They were competitive, but they got beat up. But they have time to rest, and since last Thursday. And they play on Monday against the Seahawks, and the game's going to be in New York. So I wouldn't say this is going to be an upset alert because the Giants and Seahawks are almost evenly matched. But unless the Seahawks score through the air, because I think the Giants will adjust to their running game at some point in the game, I got the Giants winning here, 23-20, 1-score game, field goal here. So close games, a lot of close games, a few blowouts here and there, but overall, this could be a very exciting week 4 when we thought it couldn't get any crazier last week in week 3. So that's the picks for this week. Get it uploaded, get on the tube, make your comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and enjoy the football, enjoy the week, enjoy your Sunday, and God bless all those players. Let's pray there are no injuries and injury-free Sundays all the time, and may your team have the best chance to win this Sunday. So let's do it.